Children were invited to send in drawings, models, paintings, anything in fact that reminded them of the characters in the Magic Roundabout. The response was fantastic, and all for a programme that goes out 4 times a week for a mere 4 minutes. What's even more surprising is that this is a children's programme with a big adult following as well. Some time ago, the Magic Roundabout was moved to an earlier time of 5 to 5, and a flood of letters poured into junior points of view. Here are just a few of them.
I hope that at the age of 20 I am not too old to write to your programme. I am a dedicated Dougal fan, and I may probably never see him again, as I don't get home from work until 5:15. What about the workers?
May I, as a dad, express my grief? I used to cancel business appointments in order to be home for this programme. We, that is my 16-month-old daughter and I, found the programme jolly good. 3 uncheers for the man who rearranged the programmes. We are crossing him off our list for Christmas cards.
Pay freeze, £50 travel allowance, high taxes, and now you've altered the time of the Magic Roundabout. What else are we children over 30 going to be deprived of?
What about the millions of older children who only finish work at around 5 o'clock and rush home from their offices and factories? This programme is just as popular with adults, most of whom don't get home until 5:30. Yours, in anticipation, 26 office clerks.
We beg you to reconsider and return the Magic Roundabout to its original time. Yours faithfully, 100 Angry Draftsmen. Average age, 23.
The BBC responded, and the programme is now back to its former time of 5:45. But what about those who don't get home until after that time? For those of you who haven't any idea what I've been talking about and wondering what all the fuss is about, here is a recent episode of The Magic Roundabout. Although the English commentary is written and spoken by Eric Thompson, it's adapted from the original French programme. The man who created the story and the characters of the Magic Roundabout is Serge Danot, who's here now with his associate Jean Biard. Can I ask you how popular this programme is in France?
Certainly, it has been a tremendous success. About 2 years, I'm sorry, I'm speaking very bad English, but 2 years ago it was the best success in France for children program, I mean. And we made 250 different 5 minutes.
Was it immediately successful? I mean, how long did it run before it gathered strength?
Est-ce que ça a démarré tout de suite, le succès?
Oui, tout de suite.
All of a sudden, within a couple of weeks, very quickly.
With which age groups now is it most popular?
Quel groupe d'âge à peu près?
Oh mon Dieu, de 7 à 77
From
ans.
7 to 77.
Did you deliberately create it to appeal to adults?
Est-ce que tu as créé ça pour les adultes ou au contraire?
Eh bien, j'ai voulu faire un programme pour les enfants et un programme qui n'ennuyait pas les parents, tout simplement.
He wanted to make a program for children, but at the same time for grown-ups too.
But did its popularity with adults, it's tremendously popular with adults over here, did that surprise you?
Yes, it is. Yes, we have been very surprised in a way in France and in all the countries where the program is telecast now. It's the same thing.
Which other countries is it shown?
Oh, it's in Germany, in Portugal, in Canada, in Belgium, Switzerland. Well, it's in Spain, Italy, and now we're going to go to the United States.
Now, does this mean you'll Americanize it? Will it change its
Est-ce que c'est américain
character?
comme, enfin, est-ce qu'on va devoir changer pour les Américains?
Certaines choses seront peut-être un petit peu changées, mais on veut tout de même garder notre esprit qui est très européen.
We want to have our French and European spirit, but only to change some of the episodes, not everything, but you know. Something on them.
Now, in each country has its own names for the characters, doesn't
That's right,
it?
yes.
Now, the French name, what are the French names?
Alors, les noms français.
Pollux.
Pollux for Dougal.
Margot.
For Florence.
Zébulon.
For Zebedee.
Pour Zébédée. Le Père Pivoine.
For Mr. Rusty.
Et je crois que ce sont les seuls que les téléspectateurs ont vus.
And Ambroise.
Ambroise, c'est l'escargot.
For Brian.
For Brian.
Yes.
Now, the character of the names, as we see it on English television, is so appropriate to the characters. In each country, do you decide what the name should be?
No, we didn't. We prefer to. Well, we do that with the television, but we prefer to do that together. which was surprising. Can I tell you something about the French reaction about the De Gaulle name? Je racontais l'histoire, tu sais, de De Gaulle. We all thought that when you spoke of De Gaulle, we were very afraid about our ministry, our foreign ministry, and we thought it was Mr. De Gaulle, the president, you know, and yes. We were afraid about that, but it's all right.
It's rather a double joke, isn't it? Because in fact, Dougal in French is an English-speaking character.
Oui, il dit qu'en fait, Pollux parle anglais dans l'émission.
C'était exactement ça, et on pense que la revanche des Anglais est très bonne d'avoir repris le nom de Dougal pour Pollux.
It's quite a revenge for English people because our Pollux is speaking English and you took our president.
Dougal, Pollux, then, is an Englishman in France.
Oui.
Certainly, yes,
absolument,
he is.
Absolument.
And is this part of a sort of English affection for the English in France? I mean, is this a sort of typical character, the Englishman that's at home in France?
Well, est-ce que c'est vraiment l'anglais qu'on a voulu typer?
Ah non, parce que il faut dire que l'accent anglais est un accent que les Français aiment beaucoup et qui est très sympathique.
French people love very much the English accent, and it's more the accent. It's not really an Englishman what we wanted to push, but mostly the accent, you know.
Et c'est ce qui a fait le succès d'ailleurs de Pollux.
And we had a very big success because of this accent, you know. That's right. It was the first thing, and then the character, sure.
He's a very English character. He's very, well, Scottish to us, rather dour and silent. Is he the same in the French version?
Il dit que pour les Français, si tu veux, c'est pour les Anglais du moins, c'est comme un Écossais. Et il nous demande si nous, si tu veux, on a la même.
Non, c'est pas, peut-être un petit peu écossais parce que. Il a peut-être un petit peu des choses écossaises, disons.
He's not really Scotch for us.
La musique,
us,
sa musique est très écossaise.
Maybe.
Mais autrement, pour nous, c'est un anglais très sympathique.
For us, it's mostly an Englishman. He's mostly an Englishman.
Well, we've got the models here. These are the actual models that you make the program with. How many copies of Florence do you work with when you're making them?
Combien il y a de copies?
Eh bien, Florence, il y en a deux.
We have only two of Florence.
Deux Dougal,
two Dougals,
deux Zebedee, et un seul pivoine.
And only Mr. Rusty, only one Mr. Rusty.
Now, it must take a great deal of time to make this. How exactly do you animate it? Can you?
Un film à 5 minutes. Le temps, c'est difficile à définir étant donné que c'est vu le nombre de personnes qui participent à l'émission. Mais ce qu'on peut dire, c'est qu'il faut 7500 images pour faire un film.
We need 7,500 different photos for a 5-minute film. Which means 7,500.
500 photographs.
Photographs, yes, for 5 minutes.
So that you take a photograph several photographs per second.
Oui, c'est ça.
25 per second.
How long does it take you to make a 5-minute program?
Vu notre production, nous mettons une journée.
Now we can make, because we are very well organized, we can do it within 1 or 2 days, but working very hard.
Yes.
Very hard.
Now, what differences are there between the English versions
Quelle est la différence
and
entre
the
la version
French?
française et la version anglaise?
Eh bien, je pense à mon avis qu'il n'y a aucune différence parce qu'elles s'adressent toutes les deux au même public.
There is no difference because it's the same audience we have.
Seulement en France, nous avons fait parler les personnages.
But in France, the characters are speaking and they don't in the English version.
Parce que les heures de programme ne sont pas les mêmes et ne s'adressent peut-être pas comme en Angleterre. Elles sont adressées le soir aux enfants et un conteur qui est fait d'une façon merveilleuse par ce fameux comédien anglais.
We are very pleased to have this way of program, this way of doing the program. It's quite different because of somebody speaking, you know, not the character, but Mr. Eric Thompson is very good, and I think it's good for the grown-ups, as you told us, but for for the children too.
There's a great quality about the commentary of the English programs, which are full of subtleties that adults can enjoy, but that children probably wouldn't understand. Is there that kind of thing in the French script?
Alors, on dit que quelquefois, il y a des astuces qu'on a faites pour les adultes que les enfants ne peuvent pas comprendre.
Oui, bien sûr. Nous avons travaillé à double sens, de façon à toujours intéresser les enfants et toujours intéresser les parents, en trouvant des phrases que seuls les parents peuvent comprendre, mais qui ne nuisent ni aux enfants ni aux parents.
We try to do both, to have at the same time children and grown-ups, and all the sentences, many sentences, just like you did. I mean, we try to find the special sentences, jokes only being understandable from grown-ups. But you know, the little boys can love very much the characters, the features.
Now that it's been such an enormous success and in so many countries, looking back on when you began to do it, can you analyze the secret of its success?
Est-ce qu'on peut analyser est-ce qu'on peut analyser le secret de la réussite?
Mon Dieu, c'est très difficile.
It's very hard.
C'est très difficile.
It's always very hard.
C'est très difficile. Je pense que nous avons fait cette émission en y mettant tout notre cœur, en pensant aux enfants. Et je pense que le secret de la réussite est là, tout simplement.
We made that because thinking of all the children all over the world, and this maybe is the reason of the success.
Can I ask you finally, we're going to see a French version of the Magic Roundabout. Can I ask you, before we do that, about the music, which is slightly different in France and in England?
La musique est différente en France et en Angleterre. Le rythme de la musique.
Non, nous avons gardé les mêmes rythmes. Ce sont exactement les mêmes bandes de musique. Parce que nous avons beaucoup d'amis anglais qui font de la musique.
Mais il n'y a plus de musique, je crois, quand même, dans la version anglaise.
Ah oui, question de mixage.
There is more music in your version that we have in France, because the characters don't speak. But, well, the music is, I think, is quite French. So we try to make it very French.